my name is Kristine O'Laco and I will be sharing an overview on how to teach gymnastics in a PE setting. So this video is specifically designed for teachers who are wanting to incorporate a new and a different element of physical activity that will support the New South Wales PDHP syllabus, support and foster a safe environment for the children, and also promote physical education and well-being. I will be covering different skills, techniques, safety protocols, and tips and tricks on how to keep it a fun and engaging activity for students of all abilities to enjoy and engage in PE. Before we get started on learning how to teach gymnastic skills, it's important to understand the safety considerations for all students, teachers, and for anyone who is involved. The main safety concerns for gymnastics include the participant, the environment, the coaching personnel, and the program. So some examples of this can include students wearing the correct attire, making sure that all students are being correctly supervised, using the proper equipment, and also establishing clear rules for all of the students. For more information, I have attached a link to the Department of Education safety guidelines specifically for gymnastics. The first skill I'm going to demonstrate is a handstand, which is a floor exercise that involves a static dominant movement pattern. A handstand is a fun and challenging exercise that develops upper body strength, body alignment, and balance. This can be a great alternative activity over common exercises used in PDHP classes, such as push-ups. Both exercises target similar muscle groups, but handstands introduce a more dynamic learning experience while still focusing on physical skills. Okay, for the handstand, we are going to break it up into 3 different variations to help us build into a full handstand. So I have my student Daniel, in which I'll be teaching him how to do these steps. Okay, so for our bunny hops, we are going to be starting with our legs shoulder width apart, and then we're going to make sure our hands are nice and flush on the ground, making sure they're not like a crawl or anything on them. So when we go to our bunny hop, we're going to be crouching down in a lunge, and then we're going to be putting our hands flat, and then we're going to push our legs into the sky. So we're going to push off like that, and then we'll stand back up, and then we'll keep practicing that until we get used to it. This skill can get the students to practice pushing off the ground, engaging their core, and understanding where their center of gravity lies. This body hop variation can also be implemented in warm-up games, relay races, and tagging games as a locomotion element. So once the students have got comfortable with the bunny hops, we'll be going on to our second variation, which is the half leg handstands. So we're not going to be doing the full handstands, we're just going to be putting one leg into the sky. Okay, so for the half leg handstand, we're going to be putting one leg in front. It doesn't have to be a dominant, it's just whatever you feel comfortable with. And then for our hands, we're going to be doing the same technique as the bunny hops. We'll make sure our hands are nice and flat when we put it on the ground. So when we start off, we can put our hands up in the sky to get the momentum going. And then when I push my hands on the floor, I'm going to be using the momentum on my forward leg, push off, and then I'll kick this leg up into the sky. So just like this. And then once you land, just make sure your legs are together and then your hands are to the side. Alright, let's give that a go. So from now on, you should encourage students to keep their legs, arms, and back as straight as possible. Some students won't be able to make it as straight, but it just helps to help maintain balance, technique, but also maintain safety. Okay, for the third variation, we'll be doing the full handstand, which is both legs up in the sky. So Daniel, preferably our handstand will want to be just like this, but as if we were upside down. Okay, Daniel, so for the full handstand, we'll be starting off the same as a halfway handstand. So our most comfortable leg in front, making sure our hands are nice and flush when we hit the ground, and then same thing, we're going to be pushing off with our leg forward and then kicking back the other leg. This time, instead of doing the half leg kick, we're going to make sure that our leading foot meets our other leg, so it's nice and straight up into the sky. So I'll demonstrate it for you. So your handstand, you're going to make sure that you land the exact same, feet together and arms by your side or up in the sky, whichever you prefer. So we'll do that a few more practices. So since Daniel has never done a handstand before, I am making sure to spot him correctly to ensure his safety and help him guide through his technique and form. It can also help him gain a little bit more confidence knowing that someone is there to support you. So just make sure you assess each student's abilities to determine the level of support they need, whether that is providing appropriate spotting or even just providing encouragement. In situations where students over-rotate their handstands, it is important to educate them on how to safely catch themselves. Daniel, for instance, demonstrated this by placing his hands in front of his head to prevent his center of gravity from tipping over, effectively regaining control and preventing a fall. Another example is by leading your center of gravity towards this side. So the second skill that I'm going to be demonstrating is the straight jump into the motorbike landing, which is a vault exercise. This emphasizes spring and landing dominant movement patterns. Typically, the skill uses a mini tramp or a vault, but since not all schools have these resources, there are adaptable variations to suit different environments. For example, in this video, I outlined the mini tramp with duct tape to mark out the takeoff point. Another alternative could be using chalk to draw the mini tramp area on the concrete. These modifications also ensure that students can still participate regardless of the available equipment. So here I am explaining to Daniel, we start off our jump with our feet shoulder width apart and push off from our feet by using the power from our legs to jump up towards the sky. As we take off from our jump, we'll swing our arms up above our head to help increase the height of our jump. I provided Daniel with a visual demonstration, so now he will have a chance to practice this movement. We have now added on the motorbike landing at the end of our straight jump. So this step emphasizes proper body alignment and absorption of impact, ensuring a safe and effective finish to our vault exercise, which was the straight jump. Modification you can make with students is incorporating a run-up to stimulate the impact of the mini tramp. This approach helps students practice the timing and power of the takeoff, providing a more realistic experience of the jump. If students are struggling to jump high, ensure both feet make contact with the mini tramp and legs and arms are as straight as possible. Completing this skill on the floor can also make it easier for those who are hesitant to jump on the mini tramps. The last skill I'm going to demonstrate is a triangle walk, which is a beam exercise that involves the locomotion dominant movement patterns. This exercise requires precise foot placement and balance as students move in a triangle pattern along the beam. Similar to the straight jump skill, we are going to use duct tape to outline the beam on the floor, as some schools may not have the resources to a beam.
Okay, so for our triangle kicks, we'll be putting our feet together and then we'll put whichever foot is comfortable slightly forward. And then for the triangle walks, we've got to make sure our arms are out wide to help us keep our balance on the beam and making sure our posture is nice and straight. We're just going to practice making a triangle with our legs. So we'll start with our right side. So we'll make a triangle, foot down, and then we'll make a triangle on our left side. And then we'll just keep practicing that for a few more times. Now that we practice making triangles with our foot, we're going to try and do it together while walking, but this time we're going to also add in the element of kicking our legs straight in front of us. Make a triangle, and this time, instead of going to the other side, we're going to make a triangle and then kick out and take a step forward, and then triangle again, kick out, take a step forward, triangle, kick out, take a step forward. And making sure when we keep our leg in a triangle that we use that momentum to kick out and then land our foot forward.
To help the students keep their balance, reinforce the importance of spreading out their arms to the side. This arm position provides additional stability and helps them maintain a centered and balanced posture as they perform the triangle walk on the beam. If they are still having some struggle, get them to practice on the floor to gain more confidence. So other ways that you can incorporate gymnastics into your curriculum is by using gymnastics elements into different sports. For example, while playing soccer, you can incorporate locomotion skills by having students perform movements like the bear walk or the crab walk. This can help students develop strength, balance, and agility, which are transferable skills that benefit their performance in various sports and activities. Another example could be when games have a recharge zone. Students can do gymnastic poses such as the angry cat or an L-sit rather than traditional exercises such as squats or a sit-up. This approach not only adds variety to the exercise routine, but also improves flexibility, balance, core strength, and overall enjoyment. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope this is helpful for when teaching gymnastics in a PE setting.